What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Mike FX speaking, and we're back again with another video. This is our weekly analysis. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys are well rested. Hope you guys did something productive during the weekend, as I always suggest and recommend. That you guys do something of value during the weekend. Don't just spend the weekend away and throw it out the window just like that. Do something productive, right? So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys are ready to get back to work and make some money, right? Before we get straight into it, make sure that you like the video. Please make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram and do all that good stuff. And let's just get straight into it. And I don't want to waste any more time. And we make this video longer than it should be. Right. So we're looking at our first pair that we kind of be um, looking at this week will be Euro USD. Euro USD, as some of you guys know, we approached this level of support here, which we talked about in our, I think it was last week's analysis video. We talked about price coming down to these levels and carrying a lot of momentum. But during the review video, we talked about price now giving us a nice corrective structure down there. Kind of giving us some signs of reversals, right? Which we did get. We saw price, as you can see, we saw price breaking highs now. These were, I think you can call this one a lower high. If you can go down to the 1 hour, you'll see it clearly. This was our lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, kind of lower high, and then we broke. When we broke this low here, this was confirmed as a lower high, right? So we created this lower low here and lower high. We created another lower low and started to see price break these highs here. As soon as you saw that, we knew that the trend has officially changed. We're breaking highs and we're failing to break lows. As you can see, price broke and it did not come back to break these highs. So we created a higher low. Oh, it didn't come even to these lows here. So we created a higher low. So we created a higher high, higher low, and then we broke this high, creating a new higher high. So that has really confirmed to us that okay, the trend has changed. Here we are now bullish, so we need to be looking for bullish opportunities. So as you can see, this area here is very significant. You can just drag it all the way here. As you can see, we first came here and we rejected off this level, we broke, and the previous support now became resistance, right? And we saw resistance, 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 and we saw a breakout here. So what you can expect is price to come back to test these areas. It's very probable that price will come back maybe this week, but what is very important to me is that how does price get to these areas? You see, because just taking a buy here, just because price came and it was previous resistance, now you just assume it's going to be support, then you're kind of jumping into the market, because I need to see how the market gets there. I need to see a corrective structure forming as we move into these areas. I need to see the market losing momentum, then I can potentially look to buy here all the way to the upside, right? So that is what I'll be expecting on Euro USD. I cannot just buy here, or you can wait for price to break these highs, which is a little bit risky. Wait for price to break these highs and give us a nice corrective structure. Here, something like this. I'm sorry that this drawing is a bit messy, but you guys get the picture. Wait for your nice corrective structure, a retest on these areas, and probably take a buy all the way to the upside, right? But I am more comfortable taking buys from here. So, and that is it on Euro USD. So we'll be looking at some retests on these areas, some continuation patterns all the way to the upside, right? So let's take a look at USDJPY, right? So USDJPY has been moving, making higher highs and higher lows on this daily. As you can see, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We've not been able to break these lows, right? So we're still very much bullish on the daily, but as you can see on the 4 hour, we were rejecting this area of resistance of resistance there, and we saw a nice push to the downside, right? So I'll be anticipating some more buys to come from USDJPY. I don't know when, but I'll be comfortable. I won't be just taking any buys here. If we get a third touch on this structure, I'd have to wait for price to show me. I'd have to wait for price to come to these areas in a very corrective nature. Then I'll be comfortable taking buys, right? That's all I'm looking at. But I'm not looking to sell UJ anytime soon, unless we break these levels of support. We break this one first, and then we break this one. So as soon as we break those two, then I'll be comfortable selling UJ, right? So wait for that nice corrective structure to appear there and take your buys all the way to the upside. Or we could wait for price. If price just comes back, if price gives us something in the order of this, a push to the downside and a corrective move to the upside, then we know that we could potentially see a drop all the way to the downside, right? So let's move on to Nasdaq. I don't know if we have time. We'll take a look at US30. I know I always say that, but I just don't want to make these videos too long. So I saw our previous video was about 17 minutes. I don't like making videos that long because some of you guys get tired. So let's just keep moving here. So on Nasdaq, we are making high highs and high lows, just as we all know. And on the 4 hour, we talked about this ascending pattern, making also higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, all the way to the upside, right? So right now, if you can observe carefully, we are at our level of support here. I wouldn't call this a breakout. I wouldn't call this a breakout because for me to confirm that it's a breakout, I need to see price break and then give me a nice corrective structure outside, not break and come back inside and play around the entry, not all of that stuff. I need to see a clear break and a correction or a retest on those areas. So we haven't seen that here. But actually what we are seeing, sorry about that, but what we are seeing is some sort of structure appearing here there, or some sort of structure forming there. We are making high highs and high lows, but now in a very corrective way. It's an ascending wedge here that we are seeing on Nasdaq. Let me just go to the 1 hour. So as you can see, we're making higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher lows, and then making that new high, breaking this one, new high, coming back to the low but not breaking these lows, right? So for the short run, I could be expecting price to come all the way to those highs there. As you can see, price is kind of giving a nice correction there. We could expect price to be bullish all the way to these areas, giving me a third touch, giving us a third touch, first touch, second touch, and third touch. That is what you could potentially expect from Nasdaq, but in the long run, man, we are gonna see that sell on Nasdaq sooner rather than later, right? So that is just it on Nasdaq. I'm not looking at anything more for sure. This week, I don't know, because the market sometimes it becomes more volatile. I anticipate moves and they just happen on Mondays and Tuesdays, and for the rest of the day for the rest of the day I had to do my own analysis, so some of you guys may be lost when you see maybe if I as we're saying today that we are expecting that bullish move to the upside. This can happen just today or tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday. We can see that push to this level, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we see a drop, which we did not analyze because the market kind of moved a bit fast. So that is what you could potentially expect. I wouldn't be so keen on uh, a bullish move all the way to these highs or our daily. I wouldn't be expecting this move anytime soon, just because price is just giving me now a corrective structure to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows, forming an ascending wedge, right? So we're gonna have that push to the downside, right? When it will happen, we are not exactly sure, but it will happen, right? So let's look at US30. Um, let's look at US30, right? I'm sorry about all of this. Let me just remove these. I think I was back testing here. I was kind of looking at these drops. So on the daily, you can see higher highs and higher lows. Same thing, higher highs and higher lows, right? Uptrend, right? So on the 4 hour, you can see that we have clearly broken our level of resistance here. This is a clear breakout. Sorry, that is a clear breakout. We saw price break this area, break it somewhere here, gave us a retest. You'll see clearly on the 1 hour this was a nice correction, break, retest, and a push to the upside. So this resistance was broken through clearly. So if you go down to the 1 hour, let's see what we can take from there, right? Let's just remove this. On the 1 hour, as you can see, price is making higher highs and higher lows, but now what I'm seeing is this kind of structure appearing now. You're seeing price making moving a bit corrective compared to these moves here, these drops and these pushes to the upside. We're seeing a bit of corrective moves all the way to the upside. So something I want you guys to look at when we broke maybe this high here. We came with a lot of momentum. Let me just get my arrow. We came with a lot of momentum, break outside. We gave us a nice retest, which is a continuation pattern. If you can just go down maybe to the 15-minute, you'll see clearly we formed a nice correction. We did not break below. We break a retest, right, and a push. Break, retest, and a push. That is what we saw there. And if you can look at this one as well, if you guys can look at this one as well, see break, clear break, and price just left and didn't come back. But when you look at these highs here, when we broke these highs, we saw price not really breaking, or was kind of wicking above these areas. If you can just look clearly there, we saw price kind of come up from the to these areas, and then gave us a nice rejection here, and we saw price coming back to these areas, which we did not see there. We see price break and coming back to these areas below our level of resistance, right? And then what's interesting to me is that we came down all the way to these lows, kind of breaking these lows. As you can see, this candle here broke these lows. It broke these lows, even though we didn't close below them, but we clearly broke them. So for this week, I could be expecting something on the order of this. This could be our left shoulder, this could be our head, and we can expect a right shoulder here. As you can see, price was broken our level of support there, just broken this low. So I don't know, I'm expecting more bearish movements from US30 for this week. So unless we break these highs, if we start breaking these highs, then break and retest, then I could potentially look for bullish movements. So that is it. I don't want to make this video any longer than it should be. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure that you do your own analysis and kind of tell me what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let me know in the comment section. So thank you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll see each other in the next one. Much love.